yeah, where are you calling in from? Just, your state, your city, your country. Right now, we're in 18 different countries around the world. We're still in pre-launch, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that we have technology nowadays that allows us to connect with amazing people like yourself. New Zealand, Queensland, Australia. I'm actually here in Cebu, Philippines right now. I was just in Dubai a couple of days ago. So I love the Philippines. Literally one of the best places on earth for me personally. Um, but yeah, it's the power of really connection, right? Connecting with like-minded people like yourselves. And we wouldn't be possible for platforms like Zoom and like all of these different social media platforms. And I'm a big believer that it's not so much about what you know, it is a lot more important about who you know and the network that you have because you're watching this call right now, whether live or recorded, and it's because you knew somebody that introduced you to this ecosystem and this community. And so I absolutely love meeting amazing people and just sharing the gift that is Divinfi. And so if you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hija. It'll soon be Sam Divine. I'm actually working on it legally to be changed. And I'm going to share this info. I'm the chief marketing officer here at Divinfi, and really my goal is just to make sure that you have a good understanding of what we're creating here at Divinfi. And so I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. So our vision here at Divinfi is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom to 8 billion people. So that's all 8 billion people, right? Everyone on planet Earth deserves freedom, and we want to help them. And so for us, what we um there's a couple of pillars when it comes to freedom. Okay, so it's financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, and the emotional freedom to really be able to sustain it all, right? And that's essentially what I've always wanted. Maybe you can relate. When I was going to school, I'm 30 years of age right now. And when I was growing up, I didn't ever think about wanting to be a lawyer or an astronaut. My dad wanted me to be to be a doctor. I just never really cared about it. I actually was the kid that was always sleeping in school or talking. They thought I had ADHD. And I did. Like, because I heard something the other day is like, ADHD just stands for a dude has dreams. And I had dreams. I was either sleeping, dreaming, or I was in class daydreaming about freedom. I didn't really know what that meant, what that looked like. I thought because of Hollywood and all these movies that was just finances. That was just having a lot of money. But I mean, how many actors or musicians do we know that have boatloads of money that are on drugs or going through scandals and all of these different things? So I'm the type of guy that has to learn the hard way. And I'll share with you what I mean, because, at the age of 18, I actually got introduced by someone, right? Because that's like going back to that concept of it's about who you know. I had no clue about the car business, but I got introduced to a buddy who got me into the car business, and I started to export cars from the United States and Canada overseas to Dubai, to Saudi Arabia, to Africa, the Dominican Republic, Cambodia, all of these different countries. And at the age of 18, over 10 years ago, I earned my first six-figure income. So I was laughing. I was having a good time. All of my other friends were barely in college, and I'm out here making, really good money for my age. And I thought that that was the end all be all. But I was working 80 hours a week. My health was declining. I was literally living off of cigarettes and Red Bull. And you're like, what the heck, Sam? Like, I can't imagine you smoking cigarettes. Well, that was my life. Okay. In the car business, that's exactly how you stay awake, driving, sometimes 24 hours straight or whatever. And so, a couple of years after the car business, I got introduced to one of my first mentors. He was only a few years older than I, and he was living this like movie lifestyle. He was hopping on private jets, just going to different countries or cities or whatever, and he was just living this big life. He had multiple supercars. He retired his parents at an early age. Just he's making money online. Like he's living this awesome lifestyle. And I was like, yeah, like I want that. And I heard this a long time ago. It's like, if you take the advice of somebody, you're gonna have their lifestyle. So I only trade or only take advice from someone that you would trade your life with. So I kind of took that really serious. And I was like, I'm only gonna listen to someone that has what I want. Because if I take their advice, I'm gonna get what they have. So I was like, I want what you have, so teach me. And he started to teach me all of these different things. And he got me introduced to the industry of network marketing, which opened my eyes to a whole new world of how to create income and leverage income, which we'll talk about here. If you don't know what leverage income is, I'll talk about that here later. But I ended up getting into that industry, and that opened up like a whole other path for me. I got introduced to direct sales, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, trading, rental arbitrage, like all of these different industries where I was able to earn millions and millions of dollars for myself. And I helped dozens and dozens of others earn a six-figure income and beyond. So it was awesome. I had the financial freedom, the location freedom, the time freedom. I'd say for about the last 8 years, I've literally just been doing whatever I wanted, right? And so then what happened was after some time, actually back in the second half of June of 2023, I started to realize that that wasn't the end all be all as well. Like there was still something that was missing. The financial location and time freedom was awesome, but there was something that was still missing. I was missing this deep level of fulfillment because I kept on self-sabotaging myself, where whether I was sabotaging my success, my relationships, my health, whatever. So in June 2023, I was married at the time, and we decided to go and just start traveling. We had basically, I was living in Dallas, Texas at the time. I I have a rental arbitrage business, so we rent out different units. So I just put everything that was mine that belonged to me, and I put it in storage, and let the business rent out my apartment and all the other units, and we just started traveling. And within those next 6 months, I would only work 5 to 6 hours total. I wasn't doing any calls or anything. I was just traveling, exploring all over Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia, and it was fun. But then it started to dawn on me that there was something missing. Like it really became apparent because I started waking up. I had massive anxiety and depression, panic attacks that were so bad that I would wake up in the morning, I couldn't breathe. Like I was like, what the heck is going on? Like I've never experienced this before. And I mean, I've similar to some of the people on this call, I've done lots of personal, quote unquote, personal development where I read thousands of books, because that was what was always preached in the industries. It's like you have to grow as an individual. You need to grow, that you have to constantly be growing, quote unquote. And there's a caveat to that, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, but I read thousands of books and audiobooks and did workshops and seminars, energy work, breath work, got certified under Bob Proctor, like all of these different things. Literally, I'd say hypnosis, right? Like I literally did everything that you can think of under the sun when it came to quote unquote personal development. And it was still like I was still experiencing anxiety and depression and all of these things. It got so bad that I actually started to contemplate suicide, like literally. And if you knew me back then, and I was like showing up on social media, I was always that positive guy, but that was what I was dealing with, right? And it got to the point where I'm at the 48th floor of my pet house in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm literally thinking about jumping off. I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore because one of the things was like the relationship that I was in was becoming extremely toxic, and I didn't know what to do. I felt extremely trapped. And eventually, after that moment in Kuala Lumpur, I walked away from that relationship, went through a divorce. I ended up going to Bali, Indonesia, and I actually had been smoking marijuana for over 12 years. Okay, so just being transparent with you guys, that's where I was at. I was abused. whether or not you want to call marijuana a drug, it is, right? That's just what it is. Because it's a substance, right? And you're putting it and you're ingesting into your body. Whatever. If you want to use it for medical reasons, that's a whole other story. But I was abusing it heavily. And I took it from Thailand, where it was legal, to Bali, and I got caught. And I went to jail for 6 days and ended up in a rehab facility for 17 days because if I didn't, they would have classified me as a smuggler, which would have probably landed me the death sentence. Okay, so it got really, really bad. The only way I was able to get out was actually pay them 50,000 US dollars. And so I believe, and not even I believe, I know that humans were motivated by two things: inspiration for a better life or desperation, where you get so desperate to change things and you get backed up into a corner that you finally make a decision. And all change in life starts with one decision. And that was the decision for me. It's like, I'm done playing small. I'm done, doing this toxic patterns. I don't know how it was going to change, but luckily I had a friend. His name is Jamie Devine. He's the CEO of this ecosystem. He had been mentored by this guy right here. His name is Don Smith. And so Don had been working on this transformational program for the last 44 years. And some of his clients were people like, I mean, the elite athletes in 15 different sports, like the top of the top athletes. He was working with 8 billionaires. He was working with the guys that created the BlackBerry. So these were some of his clients. And some of his clients, I mean, they were paying him lots of money. I'm talking for this 2 hour session, they paid him $1 million. Okay, so these were his clients. And so Jamie's like, you need to come to the Philippines and you need to meet with Don. Now, this is the funny thing is I never met Jamie in person. I never met Don in person. I had met them via phone call or a Zoom call similar to this one, probably a year before. And so I was like, you know what? I'm in a place where I need something to change. Might as well. I'm not that far away. Bali's right here. Go to the Philippines. Cool. So I ended up meeting them in January 1st, 2024. Literally the very beginning of the year. This is how I started my year. And I did this process with Don in person, which it wasn't my first time actually. I had done it prior via Zoom call, but that's a whole other story I'll talk about later. But I did this process with Don, and within this session, this 1 2 hour session, all of my, or all of the, because it's not mine, nor is it yours, all of the anxiety, depression, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, all of the addictions, whether it was marijuana, whether it was sex, whether it was money or travel or people pleasing or validation, right? All of these things are really outside of me or outside of us, gone within this 2 hour period. It was like I was like born again. It was so crazy, and I was experiencing this state that I can't even put into words. And just everything was just flowing. I was at the right place at the right time with the right people. All of these different opportunities started coming to me. It was just I can't even explain it, but I'll try my best to really give you a full picture. And I'll use this chart. This chart right here is called the consciousness chart. It's a scale that goes from 0 to 1,000. And it basically says that all of the emotions that we experience are on a scale of consciousness. This was created by a guy named Dr. Hawkins in his book called Power versus Force, which I recommend you read. And so on this scale, as you can see at the very bottom, shame is at a 20, fear is 100, courage is 200, joy is 540, and then enlightenment is 700 to 1,000. Okay, so for reference, if you take a look at the very bottom where it says apathy, it says a level 50. This is where Hitler was operating from. And if you take a look at the next to 50, it says despair and hopelessness. And so, there is a universal law. It is a law. It's not a belief. It is a law called the law of correspondence, which basically states as within, so without. As above, so below. What does this mean? It means that our internal worlds dictate our outside worlds. What you experience on the inside, you'll manifest on the outside. Okay, so, if you take a look at what Hitler did and the torment that he put those people through, he was making them feel despair and hopelessness because it was a projection from within. And karma will get him, and why not? That's not for us to try to put him on trial, but that's just what happened, right? And so that was a reference point for someone that was operating there. Now let's take a look at enlightenment, 700 to 1,000. All of the great teachers that ever walked this earth, whether it was Jesus, Abraham, Moses, Muhammad, Zoroaster, Krishna, all of these great teachers, they were at a level 1,000. And what their ultimate teachings and their mission and what they were trying to preach to us was that our natural state, you on this call, you watching this video, your natural state is one of enlightenment. That is your natural state. And just think about it. Whenever you see a newborn baby born, that baby fills that room with light and joy. That is the natural state of every single being on earth. But what happens is there's a moment in time before the age of 7, all the way to the womb. So even if you're not born, you can actually, what will happen is the subconscious mind is wide open and you're downloading information and you're putting it into your programming, your operating system, similar to your phone, right? Your phone is programmed a certain way. So it operates a certain way. So it could be some kind of traumatic experience where maybe you got abused. I mean, I was heavily abused as a child, or it doesn't have to be like that. It could be you simply falling off of your bike. That it could be as simple as that. It could be just hearing your mom and your dad screaming in the other room. It doesn't have to be something that you personally experience. It's just whatever your surroundings, they affect you, especially in the younger years. So what happens is this experience keeps you anchored in these lower levels of consciousness. Okay, so let me give you an image. Imagine you're in the bottom of the ocean and you have an anchor tied to you. And you're trying to swim to the top of the ocean, which is enlightenment. And you get 30% up, but this anchor keeps on bringing you back down. Okay, so you go 30% up, it brings you back down. So what Don's process essentially does, he takes you to the very first moment where you had that first initial trauma, because that first trauma is attached to every other one that you've ever experienced in your life. So you get rid of that core one, and now you can actually get to your natural state of enlightenment. And as you can tell, we love our pinks and purples. That's because that's at the top of the chart. That's the highest levels of the chart, pink and purple. So you'll notice a lot of pinks and purples in our presentation, and you'll always see us wearing pink and purple. And so I'm excited for you guys to experience this. And so there's two sides to our ecosystem. There's the consciousness side, and then there's the currency side. Okay, so the consciousness side is Don's process. Okay, so with Don's process, it's very important because we can show you a way to make infinite income. But if you're still operating from your self-sabotaging patterns, then guess what? You're going to ruin your success before you can even get to the highest levels. So it's super important to do this process. And so you have a chance to do this. If you've never done the process, every single Tuesday is a chance for you to experience it. And then if you have gone through it, make sure to go on Thursdays. And I personally, I had done Don's process and I gave it up because I'll explain to you why. There's a neurocellular muscle. So if you've been doing this program, this toxic pattern for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, well, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to this new level of consciousness. So you need to strengthen the muscle. You need to strengthen the muscle. So That's a consciousness side. And now we have the currency side. So we're going to show you a way to earn infinite income. But before I show you this, what I want to do is I want to share with you guys a new video that we released a couple of days ago. It's being tweaked right now, but I'm going to share with you this video that encompasses our ecosystem. And so just give me a moment. I'm going to share it on my phone. Okay. Okay, so share. Okay, awesome.
Witness the dawn of a new era. In a world where consciousness and currency converge. Join Don Smith as he guides personal transformation. Introducing AI Polo, your gateway to financial freedom. Where spiritual enlightenment meets financial abundance. Join our network and unlock infinite earning potential.
No, it's not popping up on my screen. Did you guys see this video or no?
That's my first time seeing it.
I'm sorry?
This is my first time seeing this video.
Oh, so you've seen it, okay.
No, I haven't. This is my first time.
Oh, oh, okay. Okay, so let's continue.
Divinfi. Elevate your consciousness. Multiply your currency. Join the revolution today.
Okay, awesome. So that video encompasses what we're creating here at Divinfi. It's about elevating your consciousness and multiplying your currency. So you're elevating your consciousness with Don's transformational program. Like I said, if you haven't done it, make sure you do. Scan the QR code right here so you can answer the questionnaire. It's extremely important that you do the questionnaire before you do the process, or it's not going to be as impactful because it's going to dig up all of the subconscious roots. And if you have done it, join us on Thursday so you can stay around. And because, like I said, like I've done it 4 or 5 times. It didn't take me till the 5th time to really be able to hold it. Like I had breakthroughs every single time, but I wasn't able to fully hold it. And now it's like natural. It's like I wake up and I'm in my divinity all day, every day. But it took me 4 or 5 times to finally break free and to now just live in it 24/7. So let's talk about the next segment, which is the currency side. So in the video, it talks about, nowadays, like people that have Teslas, or I mean, there's other cars that have it too, but they trust AI so much that they're willing to take their hands off the steering wheel, and they literally trust their own life with AI. Okay, so it's time for you to trust AI enough to allow it to help you to grow your bank account. So we introduced Apollo, which is our AI that has deep learning technology, which simply means it gets smarter and smarter and smarter over time. And so what it's trading is crypto futures, and we have 3 specific exchanges that we're using right now. We're using Binance, Bybit, and Kraken. So what happens is you just simply do a call with our onboarding staff, and they connect you. They do an API connection. It's just a connection where it can see the funds in your account. It can trade the funds, but it cannot withdraw. You have complete control from day one. If you have money in there and you don't want to do it anymore, even on day 2, you can withdraw it. So it's completely in your hands. And so We met the guy that developed this in Dubai at the Crypto Expo, and he had been developing it since 2017. And the range of profits that we've seen it do was anywhere between 20 and 50% return. It's not a guarantee, but this is the range. And if you were to total all of the profits over the last few years, it would be about 28% return. But that doesn't mean that it can't do less than 20% in a month. And that doesn't mean that it can't do more than 50% in a month. There have been months where it did 70, 80% return. Okay, so when we met him, the minimum investment to use Apollo was $100,000. That's what all of his clients were investing. They were investing 100,000. That was the deposit that they would have. And so there was like a profit split that he was doing with them. So we're like, hey, like 100,000 is too much for our community. We want to give this to them. Can you lower it? And so he said, okay, 10,000. And we're like, that's still too much. So he lowered it to $1,000 US. But the caveat is it's a 50-50 split on the profits. Okay, so let's say you put 1,000 in, it does 20% return on your account. That's $200 profit. $100 goes to you, $100 goes to the developer, and you're the one that's actually responsible to pay the developer every single month. It's sometime between the 20th and the 25th. If you decide you don't want to do it, what he does is simply he just turns off the connection and you no longer have access to the AI. So it's a matter of, hey, if you want this service, then you need to follow through on the conditions that he's put in place. Simple as that. 50% returns on $1,000 account would be $500. $250 goes to you. $250 goes to the developer. Very simple. So let's talk about this. I want you to think about this as a savings account on steroids. And so there's this guy named Einstein, right? We all know him. Very smart guy, of course. And so what he says is that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So this is the power of compounding. I'm going to share with you here in just a moment. We have our compounding calculator right here, so it can give you a little bit more insight on how this works. If you've never seen this before, get ready to be mind blown because it really is interesting. And you know, it is important for you to understand this because where the world is today, you have to find a contingency plan, because looking at the world and where the world is right now, like for example, the US dollar, right? It's the US dollar is literally losing 1% a month. So in 1 year, 12 months, you would lose 12% in purchasing power. And this applies to every other country in the world, whether you're in Canada, in Japan, in Singapore, in Europe, in Brazil, it doesn't matter. All of the currencies are actually pegged to the US dollar. So it's affecting the world. And the reason why it's losing is because it's simple supply and demand. When they're printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, because there's so much more supply, the demand, the value goes down, right? So more US dollars, less value for each dollar. So whenever you go to the grocery store and you're trying to purchase your groceries, I'm sure you guys are noticing that you're able to spend less or buy less. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can compound your money, and you want to think about this like a savings account on steroids. You just to clarify, you can pull out your money at any time. You don't have to compound, but instead of having your money in a savings account where it's losing value, you might as well have your money work for you. So I'm going to show you an example. So let's say you put $1,000 initial investment and it was doing 10% a month, and you had a compound for 5 years. Okay, let me show you what that would look like. So at $1,000 initial balance, it would take you 8 months to double your investment. Okay, it would double, so it'd go from 1,000 to 2,000 in 8 months. After 5 years, you would have $304,481.64. So I'm going to show you a little bit more. So let's say you started off the first month or zero, like right at the beginning, go to $1,000. It did 10%. Now month 2, you have $1,010 or $1,100. So you earned $100 in interest. Now month 2, your initial balance was 1,100. Now you did 10%. You're ending with 1,210. Month 2, same thing. Month 3, you earned an interest of $121. Now you have a total profit so far of $331. So your balance is at 1,331. Go to month 6, 1,771. You earned $161 in interest. Now, as you can tell, every single month is just getting larger and larger and larger because you're letting it compound. This is the power of compounding. Now, if you look at month 8, you earned $194.87 in interest. Now you have a total balance of 2,143. So you more than doubled your account in 8 months. Now this is where it gets crazy, right? Because it starts to really take off after that first year. So after 12 months, month 12, you would earn $285.31 that month. Now you have a total balance of 3,138. You started with 1,000. After 12 months, you have 3,138. Trust me, you're not going to get anywhere close to this putting in a savings account because they're giving you 1% the entire year. And that doesn't even cover one month of inflation. So let's go to month 24. You have almost $10,000, $9,849.73. Month 36, 3 years in, you have $30,000. You started with 1,000. Month 36, you're at 30,912. So it's starting to compound, right? Like it was in the beginning, it was small. You're only getting $100, $110, $121. Now you're getting a few thousand every single month based off of that first initial investment of $1,000. Month 36, you got almost $3,000 in interest paid that month. Month 48, almost $9,000, $8,819. You're at a total balance of $97,000. By the fifth year, I'm sorry, 60 months in, you're earning $27,680.15 in that month. You have a total balance of $304,481.64. So this is the power of compounding. And so I want you to really think about this like it is a savings account on steroids. And that's, like I said, this month, the AI actually did a 51% return, which is crazy considering that crypto had one of the largest drops in history. It dropped 25%. So this AI literally can make you money whether the market's going down or whether it's going up, which is just mind-blowing. I mean, I've done trading in the past. A 25% drop in the market would completely wipe out your account, even if you had millions of dollars. So this is next level. And so get in where you fit in. I'm going to talk about this guy right here. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure some of you guys know him. He's wrote a couple of books. The second book was called The Cash Flow Quadrant. The third book that he wrote was actually called The Business of the 21st Century, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. What is this business of the 21st century? That's exactly what we've built our whole ecosystem around. And so let's get into the quadrants. What he says is there's 4 ways to earn income. The first way is you being an employee. So you have a JOB. It stands for just over broke. I remember because when I was working a job, I always was living paycheck to paycheck. I always had a whole lot of month at the end of the money. Granted, I wasn't the best at managing my finances, but the thing is this is how most people live, right? Like most people now, just to survive, need 2 to 3 jobs. So having a job is probably the worst way to earn income, but it gives people this false sense of security. And if you have a job, that's fine. The whole thing about what we're creating here at Divinfi is to give you the right connections and also to educate you on a better way so you can finally have your freedom. And if you love your job, great. We're not asking you to quit it. What we're saying is let's get the money conversation out of the way so you can focus on the things that you really care about, because the truth is having a job is probably the worst way to earn yourself an income. So what does that look like? Let's say you work at a smoothie shop. right? You work 8 hours, you work from 9 to 5, you get paid for 8 hours. Now, one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? I don't want to work for this guy anymore. I want to open up my own smoothie shop. So you go down the street, you get a loan, you open up a smoothie shop. Now you don't have a job anymore. Guess what? Now you own a job because these two quadrants, you're only getting paid off of your time and efforts. This is where 95% of the world is operating from. This is 95% of where people are earning income, but only 5% of the wealth is actually created here. 95% of the wealth is here, and only 5% of the world actually are financially free. So, the goal is to shift from the left side to the right side. So you're like, okay, as a smoothie shop owner, it's cool. I have a little bit more independence, but I can't go and take 5 months off. If you just wanted to drop everything and go to Greece, you want to go to Paris, you want to go to Thailand, Brazil, you can't do that. You have to be in that location, making sure the business is running. Even if you have a few employees, you can't trust your employees to run the whole business because it's not their business. I mean, how many times I know for me, if I was working really, really hard at my job, I mean, eventually I stopped because it's like if I'm just working more and more and more, I don't usually get even if I do get a raise, it's maybe $1 more, but I have way more responsibility. So I would just slack off. That's just the name of the game, right? So the goal is to shift from the left side to the right side. So as a business owner, you're getting paid off of leverage. Leverage, leverage, leverage. You're leveraging a system. And system is an acronym. It stands for save yourself some time, energy, money. Save yourself some time, energy, money. So as a business owner, you leverage a system, you leverage other people's time and efforts. Okay, so let's take Elon Musk, for example. I know he has more than this. I was just watching his interview, so I don't want to butcher it, but I'm just using it as an example. So let's say he has 10,000 employees that work for him, which I think it's actually with all of his businesses and stuff, he has probably close to 100,000. But just for example's sake, 10,000 employees, they all work 8 hours a day. 8 hours times 10,000 is 80,000 hours in the day. He only has 24 hours in his day, just like you and I, but he's leveraging 80,000 man hours every single day. And that's why he's able to do all these things like trying to, land someone on Mars and build Tesla and all these different things, right? It's just leveraging other people's time and efforts by creating a system. Okay, so the goal is either number one, creating your own system, or number two, leveraging a system that's already been created for you. And that's what we have here. We have a system where you can plug in and you can actually create leverage in your life. So you can go and travel, be on vacation with your family. You can go to the gym and earn money. You can do the things that you love, whether it's philanthropy, whether it is building nonprofits, whatever it might be, and you can still earn income regardless. And so the fourth way is the investor quadrant. And this is also leveraging, but you're not leveraging time, other people's time and efforts. You're leveraging your money. You're having your money work for you. And, back in the day, it would take you millions and millions of dollars to become an investor. But nowadays, especially with what we have here at Divinfi, you can get started and you can become an investor with $1,000 US. You can literally become an investor with $1,000 US, which has never been done before. And I know this because, I've been investing for a few years now. And one of my mentors, he was a hedge fund owner. He managed billions of dollars. He was trading it for clients. And I asked him like, hey, can I become an investor? I want to learn from you. And he's like, yeah, I'll teach you. You're going to have to pay me $10,000 to teach you. And then you need $100,000 just the minimum for you to be able to start investing. And you have to be willing to lose that money. So I was like, oh shit, I need to get to work. And now you can get started with $1,000 and you can become an investor. So now, if you want to get started, you want to use Don's amazing transformational program, which to me is priceless. He charged me $15,000. I think Janet's on the call. She actually flew from Canada to the Philippines. He charged her $15,000 just by becoming a you just by joining the Freedom Pack, you get Don's program, which is literally priceless. You also get Apollo, which the minimum deposit was 100,000, but because you're a part of our ecosystem, you now get access to these two amazing products, processes. So it's $149 for the first month, and then it's $99 a month, which is literally so affordable. I mean, I have people in the Philippines. Philippines is one of the poorest countries in the world, and they can afford it. So people in the US and Canada and Europe and South America, you guys really have no excuses. If there's a way, if there's a will, there's a way. And the cool thing is if you refer 3 people, after you experience the process, you use the AI, you're having amazing results. Let's say you refer your mom, your brother, and your sister. Now your membership is absolutely free. Okay, awesome. Now let's talk about our partnership program. We have an amazing compensation plan where, I mean, it's really revolutionary. I've never seen anything like it before personally. We wanted to make it the best of the best. We took all of our experience over the last few years from different projects and whatnot, and we wanted to make it the best that we could ever offer. And so we actually pay out 80% of all the profits to our partners. And what this industry is, it's called network marketing. If you've never heard about it, or if you've never experienced it, really as simple as it is instead of using traditional marketing methods like advertising, commercials, billboards, all of these different ways to market, we just pay people like you and I to spread the message via word of mouth. Okay, you're already gonna, like, let's say you go to the movies, you go to a dinner, a lot of the times you're gonna share with your family, friends anyways, but you never get paid by them. So here, you're going to get paid to share it with the people that you love and care about. So there's an infinite income potential. So you can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way up to $4 million every single month. So that means that you can literally surpass the highest paid CEOs in our system with literally zero overhead or little overhead, right? Like $149, $99 a month. That's literally nothing. I mean, I have a traditional business in the US. Just to make a few $100s, I mean, you're investing closer to $10,000. And that's not even a guarantee that you're going to make any money. So the fact that you can come in, have this international business worldwide for literally $99 a month is laughable. And you can earn $4 million a month. I mean, where do they do that at? Divinfi. So there is a weekly residual income. So residual income is one of those things that will literally set you free for life. Imagine building something one time and getting paid for it over and over and over and over again. I mean, this is how I've lived my life for the last 8 years. I'm 30 years of age, and up until a few months ago, I was semi-retired. I didn't really work. I mean, because I did the work one time. I put in massive work for a period of time, and then it kept on paying me, even if I was doing it or not. And this is network marketing. This isn't net sit on your ass, twiddle your thumbs marketing. This is network marketing. So there is work to be put in, but really it's as simple as just creating connections with people. So residual income is something I'll give you a little a picture. Okay, so take the traditional real estate model. Okay, if you wanted to earn $500 in residual income, the way you would do it in real estate, you would, let's say you would leverage $250,000 from the bank. You get a house. The house would be, the mortgage would be $1,500. You find a tenant, they're paying you $2,000. Now you are making $500 in residual income, but you had to leverage $250,000, and people do this all day, every day. So I'm going to show you a much easier way for you to earn residual income. Now, there are no qualifications or experiences needed here. You don't have to have a fancy resume. You don't have to have gone to an amazing college. You could have dropped out of high school or college. I mean, I didn't finish college. I dropped out my second year because, like I said, number one, I never really cared about school. Number two, I just thought that, I should ask and I should talk to people and ask advice from people that had what I wanted. And the thing is like the teacher I was learning quote unquote business from, she was making 50K a year and I wanted to earn 50K a month. And so when I found that out, I was like, yo, I'm out of here. And I started to surround myself with other people that were living the lifestyle I want. And so, like I said, there's no, it doesn't matter, what's happened in your life. Your past doesn't matter. If you failed or succeeded, everyone has a completely even playing field. You could have went to Yale and you could have went to jail. Okay, it doesn't matter. I've been to jail a couple of times. I was a rebellious kid. But it really, what the two qualifications I would say you need is you need to be coachable and you need to be able to take action on the things that you're learning, right? You need to take action, consistent action. And so the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So what that means is that you're in business for yourself here at Divinfi, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole team. You have a whole team and a system that's dedicated to help you reach your goals. Because the way that this is set up is that everyone is in it together. We all are sharing the profits. And so, Zig Ziglar says this best. He says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. So it's in our best interest to make sure that you guys are actually getting to where you want to be. And so let's get into the compensation plan or the rank reward bonus. There's a couple of ways that you can get paid, but before I get into how you get paid, there's a couple of qualifications. So this right here is the rank name. This would be like your corporate role. And then you'd have the network size. This is the number of clients in your network. The number of clients in your network. I know I talk fast, but if you have any questions, just drop the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them at the end of this call. I just want to get through this quickly. So the network size is essentially how every single business gets paid. It's all about creating a network of clients. So for example, your family doctor, right? Very traditional business. Let's say he has 100 patients that he sees every couple of months. Well, he created a network of clients and he gets paid every single time they come do a checkup or they buy his drugs or medication, whatever you want to call it. So every business, no matter what industry, is all about creating a network of clients. Now, the second qualification is the personal referrals. These are the people that you personally refer into the ecosystem. Now, you get paid three ways. You get the weekly payout, which is paid out once a week. It's so from Monday morning, meaning as soon as it turns Monday, 12 a.m. So if like Sunday night, 12 a.m. From Monday all the way to Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Whatever rank you hit, you get paid on Monday. Okay, you can start to make requests every single Monday. Now, the second way you get paid is called the one-time rank bonus. So whenever you hit this rank, each rank has a bonus. It's a one-time bonus that you get paid for. So, for example, I'll connect you 200, you get a $200 bonus. Okay, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. This is paid out. If you hit it in your first month, it's paid out the following month. So the second month. So it's once a month. Now the last way is called the direct bonus. And so you normally would get $50 per direct referral. So let's say you refer your mom, you would normally get $50, but until we finish pre-launch, you're actually going to get a double up. So you're getting $100 instead of 50. And this bonus, as of yesterday, we decided to give you guys daily pay. So you can literally get paid every single day, whether it's through fiat to your bank account or to crypto. So it's absolutely awesome. You can literally get paid every single day of your life if you choose to. So I'm excited for this. If you guys are excited for some daily pay, drop a 111 in the chat because I know this is going to be just revolutionary. The fact that you can literally get paid 365 times in a year is literally mind-blowing. $111. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get some daily pays going. So I'm excited to see all of the success stories, but let's get into the compensation plan and how you're going to get paid. So let's say you want to hit the first rank of Inviter. To hit Inviter, you need a network size of 3 total. 2 on your left team, 1 on your right. It's just 2 teams. It's just 2 teams, and you build down depth. So out of these 3 total, you need to bring 2 personally yourself. Let's say it's your mom and your dad, and then your dad, he brings in his brother. Now you have a total of 3 people, 2 on your left, 1 on your right. You're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. Let's say you did this in your first month. So you'd get paid $25 a week, which is $100. And then you're getting paid off of the referrals, which is daily now. Let's say you did that in your first day. You got $100 your first day, $200 your first day. So you got paid $200 your first day. And then throughout the month, now you got paid another 100. That's $300 total. Awesome. Now, if you want to hit the next rank of connector 200, the way that this works is, so by the way, the personal referrals requirements, it's the same thing. It's 1 on your left, 1 on your right, all the way down to connector 900. Okay, so it's the same requirements all the way down. Now, connector 200, what you really want to do is just focus on helping your people hit inviter. Okay, so you're gonna help your mom and your dad hit inviter. And now you have 4 on your left, 4 on your right, 8 total. Out of those 8, you brought 2. You're getting paid $50 a week, which is $200 a month. And then you get a one-time rank bonus of $200. Okay, awesome. Now, same thing. You're just going to help your mom and dad. They're going to help their people, so on and so forth. And now you're a connector 500. Once you have 10 on your left, 10 on your right. Whoops. And you have your 2 requirements, required directs. Now you're getting paid $125 a week, which is $500 a month, and then you get a one-time bonus of $500. So when I was telling you about the traditional real estate model, it would take you $250,000 to earn $500 in residual income. I mean, look at this. Like literally, you refer to, you show them how to hit inviter, and pretty soon you're at connector 500. Right? Like Mr. Tui from Australia. I mean, he hit connector 500 in his first couple of weeks and before his first month, right? He's helped tons and tons of people on his team now hit both inviter and connector 200. So by him helping other people rank up, it helped him rank up. Okay. Same thing with Chris out of Vancouver. He's right around the corner from connector 500. And he's been helping so many people just rank up to inviter or connector 200. And, that's helping him rank up. So really your focus is to help enough people hit this first building block, which is inviter, and then you're going to just keep moving forward. So the second thing I want to touch on connector 500, this is where you can actually start to earn some income and you can start to become an investor because you're earning $500 in that month, 125 times 4. Then you get a one-time bonus of $500. You could take that money and throw it into Apollo. Right now, you're getting paid residual income off of the plan and passive income off of the AI. Okay, so it's awesome. Now, connector 900, 20 on your left, 20 on your right. Out of those 40 total, you're getting paid, or out of those 40 total, you bring 2 in, and you're getting paid $225 a week, which is $900 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $900 one time. Okay, pretty awesome. Connector 1500. This is where something shifts. As you can tell here, you need to bring 2 on your left, 2 on your right. So 4 total. So it was first your mom and your dad, then you brought in your sister and your brother. And now you've qualified. You're a connector 1500. You're going to pay $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $1,500 one time. And so on and so forth. Network of 3K, you're getting paid $3,000 a month. Network of 5K, it just kind of doubles, right? 40 to 75, less than double actually. And you're doubling your income. Okay, very simple. So you can go part-time here where you're earning $500 a month. You can go full-time where you're earning $9,000 a month, or you can go big time where you're earning $25, $50, $100,000 every single month. Okay, so there's a fourth way you can get paid, and that is called the global pool bonus. And what we do is we take 1% of all the global sales. So let's say that totals out to being $1 million and we put it into a global sales, a pool. Okay, so what we do is we split the number of so we split the $1 million amongst the number of shares. So let's say all the speaker 25Ks and above get minimum 1 share. So let's say there's 10 shares in the company. 10 divided by 1 million is 100,000. So per share you have, it's 100,000. So at speaker 25K, you're earning an extra $100,000 a month on top of the 25K you're earning per month as well. Pretty awesome. So there's another rank. It's at master 750K, where now you're getting paid 2 shares instead of 1. So past master 750 all the way to Archangel, you're getting paid 2 shares. So you get an extra 200,000 on top of the 750,000, the million, the 2 million, the $4 million that you're earning every single month. Now, I know some of you are probably like worried, you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. No, there's 2 things I want to say to that. Number 1, that's why Don's process is super important. Because if you're not doing Don's process, you're still operating from fear, which is just an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And whenever you do Don's process, now you transcend that fear and you start operating from your infinite potential. And then you realize, the possibilities are limitless. It literally takes the same amount of energy to think small as it does to think big. So there's really no one, you're going to, I mean, this is something one of my mentors told me. He said, to become a master at anything, it's not about learning these fancy techniques. It's actually just mastering the basics. So you want to hit at $4 million a month? Guess what? You just got to focus on this. And that's what happens whenever you do Don's process. You start to operate from this infinite, limitless potential where all things are possible. Okay, now second thing, I'll share a story with you, which is just, it's pretty inspiring because 8 years ago, and this is before Don's process, okay, I had built a business in a company where, I mean, it wasn't nowhere near as fun as this. Like literally we were selling blueberry juice. Literally blueberry juice. Okay. And I had invited this girl. Her name was Tiffany. She was Vietnamese. She was working at this restaurant. She was earning a little bit under $2,000 a month. I mean, give or take, it could be a little bit more, a little bit less. And she wanted to change things in her life because she knew she needed to. And so she joined the business, and she told me one day, she's like, hey, like, I know I want to do this, but I'm really introverted. I'm pretty shy. And I'm like, look, you don't have to do the presentations. You don't have to do what I do. All you have to do is make the invitation to the presentation. The person that gets the most butts in the seats makes the most money. And so she took that literally. And within 3 months, Tiffany went from earning $2,000 or less at her job to earning over $15,000 every single month. She invited her mom. Her mom was working at a warehouse. Her mom ended up earning over $10,000 a month. She invited her uncle. Her uncle could barely speak English. He spoke mostly Vietnamese because he immigrated from there. And he was earning over $10,000 a month. So I share this with you to let you know that if they could do it, then you watching this call can 100% do it. Remember, it's all about invitation to the presentation. Plug into the system. We do these calls twice a day, once at 9 a.m. Philippines time, which is 5 a.m. Dubai time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. I literally live in 4 time zones. And then we do another time, which is 7 p.m. Dubai time, which is 11 p.m. Philippines time, which is, I believe that's, what time is that for, I think Pacific, that's noon. I don't know, whatever that translates. We'll send out messages. And so you just got to plug into the system. Like I said, a system just saves yourself some time, energy, and money. And you really are at the right time, at the right place, with the right people. Actually the goal of what we're trying to do is to help raise humanity's consciousness and to give freedom to all of the world. And so you're really at the very beginning of a mission that's going to change people's lives forever and the whole world as a whole. And so, you know, I don't really consider this a business. I consider this more of a mission, but there is a business aspect to it. And so when it comes to business, it's all about timing, timing, timing. You know, if you had purchased every single iPhone since the beginning of its launch, you would have 20,000 US dollars. You take that 20,000 and you put it and invested it into the Apple stock when it first launched. Right, you were at the very first, one of the very first people, you were at the right time, you would have $200 million today. So you have that same level of opportunity to do that with Divinfi. You are literally the trailblazers and the pioneers of this movement, which we're still in pre-launch. And what we have coming is literally gonna blow your socks off. I mean, we just added daily pay. I'm gonna share something with you next here in just a few minutes. It's a brand new tool that you can use to build your business. And so you know, it's more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards both financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you align with the mission, no matter if you're watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook or if you're here live on Zoom, get back to the person that invited you and ask them for their unique link. So that way they get the credit. Okay. Now I'm going to announce 2 promotions really quick. And then I'm going to go into the new tool that we have for you. So just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have 2 promotions. So if you come in and you refer 10 people directly before August the 18th, you're getting a brand new GoPro. If you refer 20 directly, you get a brand new iPhone. And if you get 30 directly, you get a brand new MacBook. And that's on top of the daily pay, right? So you're already making, like, let's say at 10 directs, that's $1,000. For 20 directs, that's $2,000. And then for the MacBook, that's $3,000. And then you get the MacBook or the iPhone or the GoPro, which is awesome. And it doesn't matter how many people qualify. We're giving everyone a prize that qualifies. And the last promotion is that if you hit connector 1500, you're getting a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first event. And if you hit connector 3000, you get an all-inclusive. So that's flight, hotel, and VIP access to the event. And so it's really awesome. Like I said, it doesn't matter how many people qualify. We're giving away everyone just as long as you qualify. And if you want to stay connected, all things Divinfi, scan this QR code. I suggest Telegram, Facebook, Instagram. That's where you can stay in the loop. And I just want to say I appreciate you being here. I'm going to now share one more thing. But before I do, I want to answer any questions that you guys might have. And I'm going to get myself some water so I can quench my thirst. Any questions, guys? No questions? Okay, so if there's no questions, what I'll do is I will share my screen once again. I'm going to show you our brand new tool and how you can start to invite people and use this funnel that we created, which is going to make it a lot easier on you. Okay, so I showed you the video. So we have 2 other videos. So until that one is ready, you can use the 2 original videos. But here is our funnel. So let's say you shared the video. All right, so let's say there's the okay. So let me back up 1 second. So when it comes to sales, all it is about is education and exposing them to the information. So your whole goal is to expose them and move them from exposure to exposure. So if you have a notebook, I would write this, and I'll also have this obviously on YouTube and all the stuff, so you can rewatch this. But so let's say your first exposure exposure is inviting them via word of mouth. You do a call. I highly suggest do not text people an invitation. You need to call them on the phone or at minimum a voice message, because you cannot hear someone's excitement through a text. So let's say hey, I'm super, hey, Amy, I just joined this awesome ecosystem. It's changed my life. I have this amazing process. I want to invite you to it. Oh, they have the AI. It's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Or you don't even have to talk about the products. You just share the excitement with them, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Okay. And we could do a little bit more in-depth training on how to invite, but that could be your first exposure. So the second exposure would be one of the videos. Right now, we have released 2 videos for you to use. They're amazing. We're going to have the third one, which is the cinematic one that I just shared. That could be your second exposure, where it talks about the consciousness and the currency. And so the whole goal is to really pique their interest and get them asking for more information. So after that, what you're going to do is you can send them this link, which is just divinfi.com. And it's a funnel that's supposed to explain what we're doing here. So as you see, for traders, investors, and crypto enthusiasts, we simplify and secure your crypto investments and help you to achieve financial and personal freedom. This is, by the way, all based off of psychology. And so everything is intentional here. So it talks about, with our exclusive ecosystem, you gain access to investment strategies used by institutions and expert personal development mentors. Okay, so it's explaining a little bit about what we do. You have a video from Jamie, which is probably going to take a while.
Okay, welcome to Divinfi. My name is Jamie Divine. I'm the founder of this system. And the reason I created all of this is because I found great pieces to the puzzle when it comes to your freedom in life, but everyone just had a piece. And so throughout my journey of finding all the best pieces, I just decided to put it all together into one. And I'm really excited for you to see this and share it with you. So number one is the financial side. I've been involved in leading edge technology in the financial markets since 2017. And what I found was 99% of all of the products in retail, meaning the average everyday person, were absolute garbage. And the other side of it is the consciousness side. Now, for some of you don't know really what that means, and I know I didn't for many years of my life. I had taken 16 years of personal development. I was always looking to, get to the next level and better myself. I went through all of the top programs, and come to find out, after all of that work, after all of that hundreds of thousands of dollars I spent on the personal development, I still had these deep-rooted subconscious programs that were holding me back. And they were causing things like addictions or self-sabotage, betrayals, failed relationships. And so one after another, it was just like a repeated program. But when I found this gentleman by the name of Don, he, in 2 hours, elevated me from all of those programs. He showed me how it was created, how I created it, and how I could uncreate it. And as soon as I did that, all of the addictions went away, all of the sabotage went away. I finally was in a healthy relationship, having a child that I had a deep phobia and fear to having before his program, literally the day before. And so all of it came together like, wow, not only did I experience this high level of freedom with consciousness, but then over my years of experience in entrepreneurship and investing, putting all the real legitimate professional institutional level systems for finance together too. And so here it is, Divinfi, Divine Finance. My name is Jamie Divine, and I'm just excited for you to check out our system. Excited for you. We'll see you on the other side.
Okay, so like I said, exposure number one is your own personal testimonial. So it's extremely important to create your own story. Number two is the video that's under a minute. Then they come to this website. They can watch this video by Jamie, which is a few minutes long, and then they can check it out. There's a lot of information here. And it says, do you recognize one of the following situations? You're not 100% sure in where you want to invest. And so it talks about it here. Your traditional investments take forever to grow. you've had bad experiences before, your personal growth could be improved. And then it says what you can get using our ecosystem. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I recommend going and checking this out. It's really powerful, but just giving you a little sneak peek. And then it talks about, dear reader, I'm Jamie Devine, the founder and CEO of Divinfi. I worked in the financial markets, blah, blah, for more than 8 years. And then it gives them like I said, this is all based off of psychology and making sure that it is getting to the root of what could be holding them back. So just coming here, you see some, Jamie speaking, some of the team members, and it just shows them a little bit about what we do. And then it talks about the components of our ecosystem, right? And just talks about trading cryptos safely at any time from anywhere at the best rates. And then it talks about experts, Don Smith right here, awesome picture of him, and so on and so forth. And so it tells them what is step 1, 2, and 3, your info, free demo, onboarding, and some testimonials. Okay, so and then they have some frequently asked questions. So they use this as a way to really answer all the questions that they might have. And then they can press one of these, request free demo. They put their name, first, last, I'm a trader, I'm an investor, blah, blah, blah. Have you had any experience with crypto investments? What is your email address, your phone number? They submit and proceed. It'll actually take them to our Facebook group. In there, there's more testimonials from people like you. And what ends up happening is in the Facebook group, there are certain questions that they have to ask, like their levels of experience in network marketing, in personal development, and then who referred them, and so on and so forth. And so that way we know who referred them. And then what they'll be doing is they'll be scoping out the Facebook group. They'll be seeing testimonials, and then there's going to be a video there, which is going to be a 15-20-minute video where they can get all the info in one place. And that would be your like your 4th exposure. After that exposure, you can follow up with them, because it's always about the follow-up. You want to definitely make sure that you have a list of all the people you're talking to. You're constantly following up with them until they either tell you, I'm ready to join, or F off. Okay. Either way, doesn't matter. You keep on following up with them, and you're making sure that they're getting onto these calls that we have every single day, twice a day. So that's the flow. And so you either keep pushing them from exposure to exposure until they sign up, or until they tell you, like, hey, Tui, like, dude, you got to stop messaging me, or hey, Ella, like, stop. Once they tell you that, you stop following up with them. Until then, you keep on moving them from exposure to exposure until they're ready to get started. So I want to open up for questions. I know that was a lot of info, in a very short amount of time. We'll do a more in-depth training at a later time, but any questions?
I kind of have a question actually.
Awesome.
You know how when everyone starts to get the membership for free, then where do the funds come from to pay us? Because what happens if we set it up so wonderfully that it's because they don't pay for the $99, right? If everyone sets it up in the way where we have 3 directs.
No, so that's not true. So as a customer, you get a free membership, but as a partner, you still have to pay your money.
Okay.
You just pay for it using the commissions that you earn.
Oh, amazing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, any other questions? That was a good question, by the way, because that's what I was thinking, is like, if there's no money coming, where is it coming from? Like, okay. Angel, John Carlo, welcome, bro. Ella, Chris, Tui, Barbara, any questions? Okay, well, it's almost 10:30 over here in the Philippines. I know for some of you guys it's a little bit later. And you're welcome, Angel. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. let's start getting this going, right? Now we got the daily pay, we got the new funnel. Things are really starting to come together. And this is literally still the tip of the iceberg. Once you guys see what we're creating in the back end of things with the blockchain, oh my God, you guys are going to be blown away. Like it's never been done. And so I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being the best part about this mission. You know, we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So, yeah, feel free to reach out to me or any of the other leaders, and we're here to support you. Make sure that you have everything you need, and we'll see you here in about what, like 13 hours or 12 and a half hours. You're welcome, guys. Love you guys. Have a great day. Night.